Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Don't Fuck in the Woods. You're gonna need protection.
Written and directed by Shawn Burkett, starring Brittany Blanton, Ayse Howard, Jossart, Nadia White, Brandy Mason, and Scott Gillespie. Don't Fuck in the Woods is about a group of kids going to the woods and fucking. There's a creature looming about that looks to be stealing sexual organs from those that are having intercourse or jerk it off or any kind of sexual activity. You'll get your nuts or ovaries ripped out. So what do we like? First and foremost, this movie has the good stuff that a lot of people and fans of indie horror are going to enjoy. Practical effects, lots of nudity, enjoyable characters, and a guy in a creature costume that's not CG. Thank God. Praise Shawn Burkett for actually having a guy in a suit, and I feel super bad for that guy because you would have been sweating balls. Even just looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, that's like a full latex suit. You are soaking wet inside of that, burning, overheating like a dog in a car.
It does make me really happy as a fan of creature features to see a full-on practical creature. Just like a guy going old school, wearing a suit. You know what? I enjoyed the suit. The face looked a lot like baby Godzilla, and it was adorable.
Also adorable, all the sweet ass booty shots we had. They know how to cater to the audience. There's a lot of nudity. You basically see everybody topless. Fine ass cast.
Hands down, Nadia White, great boobs. Looked forward to it. Like, you know what? There's no denying it.
Brandy Mason, of course, she did her thing. Brittany Blanton and Ayse Howard, about those lesbians.
You're telling me that you're looking for the stereotypical big-tittied girl who runs from the killer and screams before she dies?
But are them titties nice?
And of course, we got our comedic relief in Jossart, who plays Mac. He was hilarious. You know, he was always dropping some witty one-liners or being the cool stoner dude that never got the girls, but you know, he tried. And it was always fun watching him on screen.
In your dreams, Bugsard.
What the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
I absolutely loved him. He's supposed to kind of be the douchebag and the stoner combined, and it worked. It actually reminded me a lot of myself, but instead of the weed, it's Crown Royal. I really want to party with that guy. And also, I'm making the Model Scout shirt tomorrow. I like the simplistic nature of this movie because the setup is, you know, standard shit. That's exactly what the title encompasses as well. Don't fuck in the woods. You know your rules. Don't fuck in the woods. Pretty cut and dry. If you bang, you get killed by a monster. And the practical effects are great. There's not a huge amount of them, but the ones that we do get to see are excellent. And if I'm being honest, I don't think we needed more. I wasn't disappointed with the amount of gore that we got to see because everything else was still pretty enjoyable. Now, what didn't we like?
I would like to point out, it's not so much a dislike, but an improvement that this film could have, and that has to do with the story arc. The runtime is really just over 60 minutes, so there is room to add a little more, and I think what this film fell flat on was the final arc with the showdown. There's no interaction with the creature, there's no, hey, there's a creature out there, we need to run and hide from it, because everyone sees the creature right away and they die. No one really survives to tell the tale, to have that moment of, here's the climax, how are we gonna get out of this?
That's exactly what I was gonna say as well. But unfortunately, this just kind of missed that whole step, and it seemed like the creature just died super quick. A little too easy to kill a creature. Well, I don't know, I've never fought a creature, so maybe I'm just way out there. I think that there should have been more to it. If this thing can just punch through your stomach with ease, super strong, there's no way a couple arrows are just gonna take it out.
You know, they got some scales, it's hard for it to pierce.
Although I could probably pull out a crossbow and shoot through an iguana in no time, so I'm not doing that, I'm just saying I could.
What was that, a threat? Did you just threaten me?
I'm just saying an arrow could pierce an iguana, scales or not.
But can it blow it up?
If I lit it on fire, it'd probably run hilariously fast at somewhere. Towards water, I hope.
They're desert creatures. They stop, drop, and roll.
I don't think I've seen an iguana in a space where it had the environment, like, big enough to roll. Keep them out of aquariums. Keep them in the desert. -1 for saying that I could kill an iguana, +1 for saying take them out of the zoos you're keeping them in. This is a little bit ranty, sorry about that, but I'm just saying. I don't really know what I'm saying. Iguanas deserve a better life. Hashtag free the iguanas.
This is the nitpicky dislike, but if you're gonna introduce a character as a stereotypical jock, you better make him a stereotype. This guy was the least jock-likely person I have ever seen in a film.
But I don't think he was that type of jock. I think he was more of an archer jock.
What are you, the goddamn Green Arrow?
I don't know what schools have just like archery teams. Hey, fuck rugby. This is what I'm doing.
They just watched Robin Hood and they're like, I am going to get my merry men.
We're men in tights.
That's a West Virginia style thing, I think. Maybe Nottingham High. Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. Don't Fuck in the Woods was a fun time. It's an indie creature feature that had the stuff that you probably want from an indie creature feature. You have a fully practical guy in a suit creature, you got lots of boobs, you got lesbians, and you have practical gore. I'm not sure if this came down to budget or shooting restrictions or something, but if they had like 20 more minutes and have a proper showdown, I think it would have been great. There is a sequel in the works, so I am looking forward to it, but for this one, it's better than average, but I know that there's so much that they can improve on, and I look forward to seeing the sequel. So I'm gonna give this 3 IRL movie pirates out of 5.
This film is what you would expect from an indie creature feature. As a matter of fact, it's a little more than what I would have expected because they didn't cheap out on the creature itself. I was so happy to see that they went full on with a person in a costume, but at the same time, they could have did a lot more with the story to make the film more interesting. Our characters were stereotypical and good, though it was hard to figure out which one was going to be our final character, and they really dropped the ball in the last act. In the sequel, I hope they focus a little more on the story without losing any of the charm that we've seen in the first one. So with that being said, I'm going to give this film 2.5 super sexy plumbers out of 5.
It's okay, you can bet me in sexy, yes?
Oh, okay.
Yes!
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, there are links in the description where you can find it. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.
I don't like the idea of coming out and just shooting reptiles, but and there's a population explosion. We're gonna get these, we're gonna eat them too, and I'll be showing some footage of that a little bit later.